Yeah, 100%.
So I don't understand why people get mad.
Right.
It's tone.
It's a tone.
Neal just brings
Will you teach him about tone? Maybe that's something that you could rub off with him.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I don't know, but, you are what you are when you get that age. I can't change you.
All right, we're going to work with him. But, it is what it is. I mean,
sure.
Big,
and we're seeing it this year, and whatever. But we're going to get into the Michigan State stuff with Spen Morax. I do want to get the state of Michigan State football, if that makes any sense. But, obviously we're going to get into the Sheila Hamp quotes as well. Fortunately for us, that broke right as we got off the air, so we didn't have to deal with it yesterday, but the bill has come due today. So here we are on that, T-Foss. I know you have some thoughts on it as well. We'll break down Lions-Dolphins a little bit. I just have a couple of baseline questions about the Dolphins' offense and how the Lions match up defensively and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it is. It's all that. I know the Pistons lost yesterday. I'm seeing some concerning things out there in the Twitter sphere about the Pistons and the state of where they are. I think what we talked about yesterday, D-Mac, I'm curious to get T-Foss's thoughts on it, where if you look at the failures, epic failures of the Detroit Tigers versus what was promised,
right?
To this point, epic failures of the Detroit Lions versus what was promised, I think we're seeing a snapback and over modification of fans' attitudes towards the Pistons right now, and in particular Dwayne Casey. I'm curious to get your thoughts.
Well, they should be. I mean, I know sample size, but they're 1-5, same record as the Lions. So, and they don't play defense.
But everybody's 21 years old, man.
Huh?
Everybody on the team is 21 years old.
I know they're babies. It smells like a little baby powder when the Pistons run out.
It's baby powder all over LCAT.
But the bottom line is you can't go 1-5. People should be concerned. Yeah, and they don't play defense, man.
Yeah, but that's going to come. We talked about it yesterday.
Vegas
had them at 27 and a half.
The here and now.
So a team that's going to challenge a 27 over and under for a win total is probably going to be 1-5. They are what they are, and they're young. And I think that is a common theme that does, Neal, like you said, that is just facts. If you look at more so the rosters, at least for 3 of the 4 professional sports teams, so it plays into it. Terry, you're right about they got to learn how to play defense, but that's not coming anytime soon, right? That's not coming anytime soon. I think they are what they are. You just want to see guys develop. I see a lot of things in the chat there at woodwardsports.com. Jalen Darren with some claps. So the development of these guys and stuff like this, they are what they are. It is what it is. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, it's frustrating because nobody's winning. The Wings a little bit. They got a big game tonight, but I mean, to me, it's okay right now where we're at.
Yeah, I think we just have to realize that this whole city is in a slump, and it's going to be this way for a while. Every time Vegas comes out with the over/under, we always think, oh, that's too low. What the hell? But none of these teams are hitting over/under for wins.
And we fall for it every single time, too, as a collective.
Every time they come out with the over/under for wins, we're like, what
that's
are
way
they
over.
thinking? These idiots.
Yeah, but guys, can you not agree, though? We've been in this. You mentioned we're in a slump. We've been in a slump for 10 years in this city or whatever, but it's different. It's different because it feels like we're sort of working like we're going to work our way out of it, because maybe I see talent at different spots on different parts of these teams. I see, maybe it's more so, Neal, that I see guys that are capable in the GMs that I believe in. So I guess I keep looking to no matter what the wins and losses are the guys putting the teams together? Are they capable? And then you see the moves that Scott Harris is doing. You see what Steve Eisman's doing, Troy Weaver, Brad Holmes. Sheila comes out. So, yeah, we're in the same. We've been sucking for a long, long time. We've been waiting for a winner around here for a long, long time. To me, yeah, we are still sucking, but it's a different suck, and it's more enjoyable. I'm actually enjoying myself now with all this banter because before I didn't see a way out. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. And that will tie into next time when we start talking about Sheila Hamp and what she had to say yesterday to the media. Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Again, appreciate everybody's thoughts. You can jump in there. I'll get to some of them. They do come fast and furious. Rob J says, I already smashed the like button. Neal's hatred for Michigan can't dampen my good mood.
What'd you do today? I thought we were talking about the
Tell me.
We were talking about the Pistons.
Embrace the suck.
just take a hit of the coffee, D-Mac.
That's it, man. That's the word.
and just move on. No, I don't know. But hey, we'll take your thoughts on there, and we'll get into a bunch of the stuff. I know the trade yesterday that the Bears made, and I saw this, and I just lost it. Oh, right here it was. Namahe says, why didn't the Lions get Quinn, or Robert Quinn, from the Bears? That's a missed opportunity. Because my guess is that they're not into 33-year-old players do $28 million over the next 2 years.
That's right. And there's another thing. How many trades do you get within your division? The Bears probably don't want to trade them to the Lions, and the Lions don't want to give the Bears draft capital. So you don't see very many trades within the division. That's one thing. And the other thing, he does make a lot of money.
Yeah. Go Blue says, Neal's hate will flow. Just a matter of time. We're on this already?
Yeah, and by the way, I took a peek at Neal's picks. Michigan State 42, Michigan 3.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, T-Foss, that's enough out of you.
Explain that.
Can we please put T-Foss in timeout right now? He's already out of control. He comes back, from his local media dealings, and you're acting the fool right now, T-Foss, and I can't take it.
Shacking the fool.
Yeah. Rex Smith, why would the Lions waste a draft pick? They're not near a Super Bowl. They need to get draft picks, not give them away for Quinn, and that's where I was with it too. I'm not interested in 32-year-old guys do $28 million over the next 2 years. I'm just not.
You know where I am right now? I don't want to see the trade. Just take your ass kicking, finish 3-14 or whatever, get your draft picks and move on.
Yeah.
I don't want them to make a trade to improve the team this year.
I don't either,
because they're still going to be out of the playoffs. They're still going to stink. You're still going to bitch about the team. Even if they got Harris or Tom Brady, it doesn't matter who you bring in now. Don't make the move now. You should have made it in off season if you wanted a better team. Just sometimes you just get your ass kicked.
The question is, though, wouldn't one day it be nice to be able to acquire a guy like a Robert Quinn because you are making a move and you're building your team? Like, because it's not I see Joey 2 times, he nailed it. The Quinn move is for a Super Bowl contender, not for a rebuilding team. Right. So, but the question is, man, maybe one of these days that can be us. And I don't think it'd be inside the division. That doesn't happen. But trade for that guy.
Let me say something about you. First of all, you're a very lovely person. I like you and everything, but don't talk fantasy. It's not happening. All right.
But I just did, Terry.
I know,
but if I don't dream, Terry, if I don't manifest this reality, who's gonna do it? More people out here. It's been years, bro.
You're going to be sitting up there 10 years from now. Hey, Neal. Hey, Terry. Do you remember when I talked about 10 years ago? Wouldn't it be nice if the Lions
finally did
to bring in that final piece for their team? Ain't happening, bro.
Well, that's because the point of the conversation was, wouldn't it be nice to be winning to have those conversations? We're not even in the conversation for stuff like that.
Right.
You make a move like that, you're just moving chairs on the Titanic. That's where you got your salary cap thing is get the Brockers, the Flowers, get all these guys, all this money off the books. It's another money off. It's a caveat for a winning team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and look, we do have to with Sheila Hamp's comments yesterday. We got to talk. Sorry, D-Mac.
I got a question. Right when I heard,
I got you excited.
Right, I did, because I knew Terry would be in today, and I got to ask her. I got a question about terminology with Terry.
He's up to no good.
But you can't leave it hanging like that. I got to know what it is.
Well, just because I heard a tear down and a rebuild. I mean, we got all this renovation going.
You know what,
I mean, it's like which I have something, but really in sports is that have you ever you ever heard one or another or both or three or four or what have we been doing for the past
Isn't it a tear down to rebuild?
20 years?
It's great that you guys brought that up because I do want to talk about. I was digging what she was saying to a point about that because there are two separate entities. And we're going to talk about it when we come back after I tell you about oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Look, they got play-by-play updates. They got live scoring. All that stuff's cool. You need that. No doubt about it. They get you the best price from multiple sports books. You can customize a list, line them up with the accounts that you have, the sports books you go through. That way, when it pops in your head and you say, you're like Terry Foster, you say, I got to take Michigan State with the points. He did. He did say that. So when T-Foss does this, he can go find the best line to take Michigan State with because he's calling for him to win, at least cover. So with that being said, oddstrader.com is your best bet by far. Again, know the number. You're not opening apps and closing apps on your phone and all that kind of stuff. Fire away. Oddstrader.com. Download it in the App Store or go to the website today. Oddstrader.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit. But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Time to talk about Swiss, not Hammond Swiss, Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket expenses to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected.
Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, T-Boss, Terry Foster here in the house. And coming up in a little bit, we're going to have our weekly discussion during the Lions home game week with our Detroit Lions hometown hero. You don't want to miss this one, guys. You don't want to, just trust me.
This is an all-timer.
This is lining up to be one of the best ones ever. The story, all of it. You'll see. You absolutely will see. But as we were talking about, Sheila Hamp addressed the media. We have that sound, you said?
We do, yes.
So for those of you that missed it, we'll let Spen Morax run it, and then I have some thoughts, and I'm sure you guys have some thoughts too.
Well, this, I would say, was like a teardown and then a rebuild. I mean, we really had to take it down to the ground level. And it's been not only on the football side, but across the organization. We've put in a lot of new talent at the top. I really believe in the top leadership in this organization, and I think we've got the people to do it, to carry this out. I think that's what's different.
One more, guys, one more. Why are you talking right now, and how long does this patience last? You know, I think that's what people
Well,
want to know.
yeah, I agree with you. Well, patience lasts, as I say, we've got a long way to go in this season. I wanted to talk to you guys because really talking to you, talking to the fans, and, everyone's frustrated. I'm frustrated, but again, I really believe in what we've got and what we're going to be. It just takes time.
Maddie Miller was down there at the Lions festivities, what turned out to be festivities yesterday. Sheila Hamp says she believes in the leadership. And which way you guys want to roll with this? Just from the standpoint of, you had a question about terminology. And yeah. I know a lot of people are laughing about it, but I think she was right. And DMAC, it's kind of the foundation of what I've talked about, where I'm critical of Campbell, but I celebrate Brad Holmes because they're doing two different jobs. They are. They're separate entities. They're two different businesses. And I think that, there is a tear down to it, the financial aspect of it, and then there is a rebuild to it, because you have to acquire talent. You do. And the only avenue that's open to the Lions to get talent is through the draft. Why do you have that look on your face right now?
Because I can't believe you're falling for this crap.
No, I'm falling for it. Okay, go ahead.
Here's one thing she said. No one wants to win more than me and my family. Guess who else said that? Her dad and her mom. They said the same thing. What happens is when the heat reaches a certain peak, the Fords come out of their cubbyhole, talk to the media, say nobody wants to win as much as we do because we're really serious about this. I believe in our coach. I believe in our general manager. We're turning this around. We're serious about this. They do it every damn time. But guess what? It takes the heat off of them for a few days. Then they go out. The Lions get their asses kicked again. And then we'll probably see her talk again during training camp next year.
I think what she came out and she said, first of all, she took my clock and she said, D-Mac, nice clock smash. It's the wrong clock. It's pretty much, she told me it's a 4-year clock. And the priority for this organization, and it goes back because I got to try to be a fly on the wall in the meetings when they hired Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell for this direction with Spielman and everybody in there, was the fact that the terminology, the tear down, the rebuild, right? That means that the focus is on the books and everything else and really what goes on. Who's gonna hone the tide and sort of work and try to develop guys and stuff like this, but really more so the heat on Dan Campbell is the focus that needs to be on Brad Holmes. So whatever game plan coming out, she just said, well, this is what we talked about, and this is the plan we're going to go on, and it's going to take a while, so don't worry about this. My question is, why does she come out now, and why does she say this and stuff like this? Because she hears the rumbling in the fan base that it's different than in the past, that it's just not lambs to slaughter, just walking up to buy their tickets, buy their merch and stuff like this, that there is something in the fan base that are getting upset about this, Neal. But what it just says is nobody's going anywhere. No one's going anywhere. The priority for the Lions is to get the money right, which you're talking about, to Brad Holmes, which is protecting Dan Campbell. So I think you wait till not even this year, not even next year.
And it's not. And I when I sat down to think about what I was going to talk about today, I'm like, I have brought it up in the past, certainly. So people that watch the show a lot, they know where I tend to go with this stuff. Even next year as well, the financial pathway, because they are running the Iserman game plan that everybody loves. They're running it, DMAC. There are so many similarities right now to what you see the Lions doing with what the Detroit Red Wings did. The Red Wings are a couple years ahead. And T-Foss, you can laugh at that. You get that look on your face that you have right now.
The Red Wings are 40 years ahead.
Well, what I'm talking about in this time and space, you don't have to be a football mind to understand it. Look at the salary holdings. Look at the contracts that were signed. Look at the length, the duration of these contracts. Look at the nature of the contracts that were signed. Low risk, short term. All of it is lining up to this moment. And next year, even next year, as it sits right now, you're under $17 million in cap space next year going into free agency, which isn't a lot. Certainly is not a lot. Now, there's some tinkering that could be done to free up space this way and that way and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, if you move Jared Goff, your $17 million goes to $37 million. Just like that.
Mr. Money Cap.
Yes.
Congratulations. You saved all that money. Wonderful. You're under the cap. You can make moves, but you're 1-5. You were 3-13-1 last year, and it looks like you're going to win 5 or 6 games the following year.
Okay.
So you win 3 games. Maybe they'll get lucky and win 4 and maybe 6 next year. So you're going to win 13 games in 3 years. But damn, we saved some money.
But that's the game plan. The
Congratulations.
game plan is to get the books right.
T-Mac, what did Steve Yzerman do this offseason? What did he do?
He
Changed the face of the organization. He changed the entire guts of the organization by the stroke of about 6 pens. And how was he able to do that, Terry?
Is he 1-5?
What's that?
Is he 1-5?
Was he a playoff contender the last 3 years he was here?
He was not.
Okay.
But you can see a game plan with him.
You can see a game plan with what the Lions are doing. I just gave it to you, Terry.
Okay.
Except the execution to wins and losses on the field with the guts. So pretty
they're
much
not there
Dan
yet.
Campbell's a placeholder, and Dan
When are they
Campbell's more
supposed to get
Blashill
there?
than he is.
Ding, ding,
So
ding.
there you go. So if Holmes is your if you're going to use the analogy where you believe Holmes is
Is the Yzerman,
Yzerman-esque,
and I think Campbell's the Blashill.
right? And you're going to figure out. So do you see? Here's the thing about Steve Yzerman. I trust, and I always said, is that if Jeff Blashill's not the right guy continuing out for the rest of the season, right? He'll get rid of him tomorrow. When did he get rid of him? The day after the season ended, right? Unless Dan Campbell improves on his coaching and stuff, which is the on-field play and the coaching is part of the wins and losses in the team. These are two different entities we're talking about. So more so than not, coming out of Hard Knocks, Dan Campbell was the messiah, right? Coming out of being 1-5, stuff like that, he's Jeff Blashill.
And here it is, Terry. Dan Campbell. The record's the record, right? What you're clowning, what you're laughing. The record's the record, right?
Record's the record.
Would you say that Brad Holmes' record is the same as Dan Campbell's? If you were counting wins and losses for Brad Holmes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Because
So you've seen progress.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Then we're on common ground.
Brad Holmes, he took over an expansion team. I mean, when you win 26% of your games, you're an expansion team. He's got to dig out from Matt Millen, Martin Mayhew, Quinn Trisha. That's 2 decades of trash that he's pulling himself out of. So I would say the records are not the same. He's got a lot more to overcome than Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell just has to coach these dudes.
But that's my point, though. And Cheech in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, so Neal wants a cheap, shitty team. Right now, yes. Right now, yes. Because
you got to stop doing one thing, though.
What's that?
You can't come on this air and say, "Oh, guys, when is it our turn to win games? The Jets are 5-1, the Giants are 5-1, and when is it our turn?" You can't say that.
Yeah, but yes, I can say that because when do we get to catch a break,
you come
T?
here all the time.
When do we get to catch a break? That's different.
Why can't it be us, T? Why can't he say that?
Do you think the Giants are good? Do you think the Giants are good?
They're better than the Lions.
Do you think they're good though?
No, but they're going to make the playoffs.
So, but see, that's my point, though.
They're great when it comes to the things the Lions aren't great at, and that's football.
Well, yeah, I mean, their coach seems to be pretty good, right?
Players stepping up. You got a guy.
They're separate entities to me,
who's
guys.
not even in the lineup, making $19 million.
Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. You drilled it, D-Mac. One is Blashill, one is Yzerman.
Well, if you put Holmes to the eye, which you do because the books hasn't played out, you got to allow him to play it out. But yeah, Dan Campbell has gone from Messiah to Blashill. So that's it. Where you're at right now.
You also, and I don't want to attack you. You're a hell of a guy, I'm sure. But you can't come on here and say that the Giants are 5-1. But T, are they a good team? Now, if the crappy Lions are 5-1, guess what? You be dancing an Irish jig, saying how great everything is, even if the team was bad. So don't give me that.
Well, yeah, everybody would. T. What's the dynamic statement there?
Well, the Giants are 5-1 or whatever, and don't tell me. Well, is it a good team? You could nitpick any team in the NFL.
I got a remedy.
What's that?
I got a remedy for this, guys, and if you want to be a part of it too, you can be. We call it Woodward Front Row. Yeah, win front row tickets to Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Ford Field, what do you need to do? Well, we're getting into it. You got to record doing your best Dan Campbell impression. Man, you can do it. Man, I swear to you, man, we're going to win a game, man. So post on IG or Twitter with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select 3 winners, a pair of tickets each, a total of 6 tickets. So get it in. We're going to announce November the 4th. Great contest, a Dan Campbell impersonation contest, man. Get it in today.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness. You guys know it already. We were out there yesterday live from the one at Sterling Heights on Ryan Road. Had a great time out there. You know what it is, guys. Just $10 a month for access to your home club. Go to planetfitness.com. The gym that's known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. All the cardio equipment. Never have to wait for a machine. You work out on your schedule. Planet Fitness has more than enough equipment out there. You guys saw me. I was out there getting it on the treadmill as well. So again, planetfitness.com if you're feeling motivated. If you want to join in club, pull in on the way home. You're going to pass a couple on the way back to your house anyway. So, again, get it in. Just $10 a month, access to your home club. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here in the house as well. Lions home against the Miami Dolphins, so you know what that means. It's time for us to sit down and talk with our Detroit Lions hometown hero. You'll see him honored at Ford Field. It's a good one, folks. I'm excited for this one as Big D Energy would like to welcome Captain Herb Elfring to the show. Born in 1922 in Waterton, South Dakota, he entered the Army National Guard and was deployed to Hawaii in November of 1940. Just a year later, while stationed in Hawaii, he was manning a coastal artillery gun on that fateful day, December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. After the events of that, the United States officially entered World War II. The very next day, over the next 4 years, Captain Elfring was stationed in Fiji, the Solomon Islands, and the Philippines when the war ended in 1945. After the war ended, Herb enrolled in the University of Michigan, where he saw a national title of their own during that time, and he earned a bachelor's degree in 1950 and worked for Consumers Energy as an engineer until he retired in 1985. So we welcome Captain Elfring to the show.
Wow.
Captain Elfring,
wow.
Quite the resume. World War II veteran. We'll get into all that. Are you a candy corn supporter, as I see by the T-shirt right there, Captain Elfring?
I have eaten it, but I can't say that I'm a supporter.
All right. Well, you're back in my good graces, Captain Elfring. No,
he's probably still got candy corn from back in, when he went in the Army in 1940.
Well, that was the last time they made it because no one buys it. Absolutely.
Right?
Captain Elfring, again, appreciate you coming on the show. I think that I speak for everybody when I say we have to start on that day. Pearl Harbor, you were there. You survived the attacks. I never have gotten the opportunity to talk to somebody that was there. Can you take me through that moment?
Yes, the morning of this December 7th, 1941, it was a very quiet morning, and everybody was either at breakfast or finished breakfast or maybe still in bed. And I was reading the bulletin board by our barracks when I could hear a plane coming, but I didn't pay much attention to it until it laid a line of strafing bullets about 15 feet away from me. And I looked up and saw that red ball on the fuselage, and I said, "My God!" I say, "That's a Japanese plane." And my Army camp that was called Camp Malakoli, and it was located just down the shoreline from Pearl Harbor. And I could hear bombing over toward Pearl Harbor, but I thought maybe it was just an exercise program, and didn't pay much attention to it until that plane came over and strafed right beside me. And it was just a short time then, word got out that we're under attack, and everybody scrambled to their normal stations for work duty, and my station happened to be a radar, which was just getting into existence at that time. So that was my job, to be on the staff at for the radar used for locating planes, and especially at night when it was necessary to direct our searchlights onto planes.
It's great. Just
The
that's
gravity,
what we're talking
man.
to, and thank you, obviously, for your service and everything like that, Mr. Elfring. But the fact that he's talking about, this is when radar was, first invented of this kind, what they're talking about, like the different things. My question, sir, is you've been around 100 years. You are a sports fan, obviously a Michigan graduate. Do you have any favorite teams or years or championships that you saw or remember, or maybe how about like your favorite player growing up?
I'm a farm boy from South Dakota, as was mentioned, I think, and my exposure to sports, and especially professional sports, as I was growing up, I really was not exposed to it, so I never had I hardly knew what Babe Ruth was and who he was, and then what a great player he was. So my sports days were after I got to Michigan and was exposed to them more, and since I've been to Michigan here in Jackson, Michigan since 1950.
Talking to Captain Herb Elfring here on Big D Energy, the Detroit Lions' hometown hero. He'll be honored at Ford Field this Sunday's game against the Miami Dolphins. And a big thank you to Ronnie Cyrus, by the way, for hooking all this up as you're seeing some of the photos of Captain Elfring back in the day. And University of Michigan graduate. He also, for his dedicated and honorable service to our nation, received the World War II Victory Medal, American Defense, and Campaign Medals. And, Captain Elfring, you're getting a lot of, obviously when we do this, a lot of thank you for your service and stuff like that, and a lot of go blue and all that kind of stuff. You excited for the game this weekend? Big game against Michigan State?
Absolutely. Every year that's an exciting game, yes.
So he admits it's a rivalry, Spence. So there you go. So Captain Elfring gets fired up for it. But as we were talking about, the survivor of Pearl Harbor as well, and I guess just kind of one more question about that, Captain Elfring. When as you joined the Army, and obviously World War I had come and passed and everything like that, just that whole temperature of the nation in the moments after that. What was that like as a country? Because we see now, right, we have events that happen and everybody kind of bonds together and away we go. Was it like that even back then too?
Well, in the late 30s, it was really pretty much a depression time yet.
Right.
And young fellas at that time, they, would work for a buck wherever they could, and joining the National Guard was one way to do that, to earn a few bucks on weekend and also camp time. And I joined the National Guard in Montana when we lived there when I was younger. When I was 16, I should say, when I joined. Then when I moved to San Diego, I joined again just to have an extra job on a weekend and go to camp.
Captain Elfring here in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Scott Klingler says, hey, Neal, can you tell that hero I can't repay him for what he's done for his country? And thank you so much, sir. And I think we echo those sentiments here.
I have a question that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, because I don't get around, and I don't think a lot of us get around somebody who's 100 years old too much. So as much as he's seen or experienced, what advice for the rest of us youth out here, how do you make it to 100, or what advice would you say has got you this far? Can you give the youth and the nation some advice, sir?
Well,
what's the key?
I'm sure everyone experiences through life a lot of close calls, and of course I've had a lot of them, and it makes you feel like, boy, somebody up there is watching over me a lot of times. But to get there, I guess I would have to say that try not to have all the answers for everything, because you can't anyway. Getting through the war and getting the opportunity to go to the University of Michigan on the GI Bill was a great lift in my lifetime, I'll tell you. Anyway, that's where I met my wife, and when I graduated in 1950, we moved to Jackson and got a job with the local power company, Consumers Power Company. And in the process, I worked for 35 years, but in that time we had 5 children, and they've all grown up, of course, and are doing very well. So to get to where I am, I guess I feel that you just do your job as you go along the best you can, and I think I was quite active in several things, but I never excelled in anything, you might say. But I played golf and tennis, and I skied in the wintertime, and rode my bicycle, and did everything like that in moderation, and stayed active but not overdoing anything.
I like it.
You know, I want to say one thing, and I don't ever come on the air with you guys, and it's emotional for me, to be honest with you, because we've had Stanley Cup champions, we've had Hall of Famers, we've had people that won Super Bowls, college championships, and I would say you are the most excited person that I've ever had to come into this building, and I'm very thankful for you coming today, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts forever. And God bless you, my brother. We're so thankful for you.
Yeah. Captain Elfring, certainly do appreciate your time, your service to the country, and thanks for coming on Big D Energy today.
I'm happy to do my part.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Ronnie Cyrus as well. Captain Elfring will be honored. You'll see him on the field this Sunday at Ford Field.
I can't believe they let you knuckleheads have a show. Here's the big question. Did you shoot anybody down on Pearl Harbor Day?
Did I?
Did you get to shoot
a plane down?
Shoot a plane down or anything?
We were caught with what you might figuratively say with our pants down. We had absolutely no resistance to respond to the attack. Absolutely none. Ready to go, you know what I mean? All of our guns were in march order position, and the small arms that were could have been used were locked up, and the attack on my company, my camp Melancholy, really only lasted a few minutes, you might say. I mentioned being attached to a radar, and when we got the squad out to the radar, we were strafed again by 1-0 airplane, and that one, the landing bullets just went within 15 feet of me again, and in the process cut the power cable between the power plane and the radar itself. So the type of plane that hit our camp was not a bomber like was usually doing to drop bombs on the shipping in Pearl Harbor. They were just zero planes, as I figured, was escorts for the bombers on their way in from their aircraft carrier to Pearl Harbor.
Well, your service and the hundreds of thousands more. Certainly, you say you got caught with your pants down. I think we fixed the scoreboard on that one, though. But when it was all said and done, so Captain Elfring, I appreciate your time again. Thank you for your service, and everybody. Bring the noise on Sunday when Captain Elfring's out there on the field. We'll be back with more Big D energy.
That's the ultimate payback as a bitch,
yep.
right? Exactly. And even though T-Foss
Sweet revenge.
Question for a guy who loves to get caught with his pants down. But hey, guys, rivet, Big Frog, baby. Get a free Woodward Sports T-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports T-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. So just stop in there, let them know we sent you in. They'll print you right on the spot. Get yourself Woodward Sports T-shirt, Big Frog Novi today, or visit them online, bigfrog.com/Novi.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
D-Mac here at Alta. Uptime matters. Alta Equipment does everything you need to get the job done. You know, weather's changing. It's autumn. You got some outdoor stuff to do. Give Alta a call. They got you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. Happy to have you all with us. People pretty moved by that one. And I do have to say, that was pretty cool to talk to a Pearl Harbor survivor, T-Foss. Like, I know you've been out there before, Hawaii. I was out there too. We went out there on our honeymoon. And above all of that, it's just talking to someone that's been through the gravity of that moment, T-Foss, is really, really incredible.
No, that is really incredible. And when you go to Pearl Harbor, it just seems like the air is different.
Right.
And, you know, you see videos, you see the ships, you see the formations, you learn the history. I mean, he was talking about there was no radar. The United States got really caught with their pants down with this. And when you see all the explosions and everything, who in the hell can survive all that?
Well, how nonchalantly, and I guess, it did.
D-Mac, real quick, to jump in there, that's every time that we talk to these guys, and I've said this before, just how matter-of-fact they are about it. Oh, the bullets passed me about 15 feet by from me in Pearl Harbor.
You know those kamikaze planes, right?
Yeah.
So the ones that the escorts are when they're smashing the ships with that's what he's talking about as far as like coming in and strafe. And so you got a plane that you're like, oh, like he said, I was out doing my stuff, didn't really heard the plane, didn't really recognize till machine gun 15 feet away. Do you know 15 feet?
That's 5 yards.
That's 5 steps.
Yeah.
Take 5 steps from yourself, put something down, walk 5 steps from there, and not only once, then he said, oh, again. So I think that there's a lot of things I took from that, and I've been to Pearl Harbor, I've been to the USS Arizona, and I think that's very impactful. I think it's a great history lesson if you get a chance, the way that they preserved, and I know they've had to preserve that ship, the Arizona that sunk because of munitions and,
And today, there's still oil coming out of that ship.
But that's what I'm saying. When you go there and you stand and you don't realize, because you think it's sunk, it's just sunk underneath the water level. So you can it's really apparent not only the size, but the tragedy of what happened. I think it's one of the greatest history lessons. Also, too, my man saw Babe Ruth play. No, my man, right? Did you really understand that subtle, born in 22 or whatever? But him and Tom Maz were the only guys I know that saw Babe Ruth play.
Right. Those are the only two. I think Maz covered them as a matter of fact. I think Maz was there. So no, that was pretty cool. Appreciate Ronnie Cyrus for getting that set up, and we'll do that every single week that there's a home game, every single time. I don't care. We're always going to do that, and you guys seem pretty fired up about it, too. Jenna Newman says, that old man is a bigger badass than some of the chumps people look up to now. He is an all-American badass. I like the word chumps, too. I want to see chumps come back, Spencer. I feel like I want chumps to come back.
Chumps is a good one.
Yeah,
chump.
Speaking of chumps, let's talk Detroit Lions again, Jeff. as a matter of fact. No, but I did want to wrap up that discussion though of where we were about Sheila Hamp addressing the media, and maybe it's semantics, terminology. DMAC asked the question because I think there are 2 separate jobs being done, and I, honest to God, believe this, that I think the Lions, what they're doing, is on par with the Red Wings. Campbell is the Blashill. Holmes is the Iserman.
Did she just let us know, is this the way to translate it? Is the teardown's the books and the rebuild's the team? Is that fair to say? That when she says...
I don't know. Ask T-Foss. He's busy laughing at me.
Money,
so.
But he doesn't like money.
Oh, that's right. You don't like it.
Because that has money. But the teardown she's talking about... Right, because we always hear the rebuild and stuff like this, but the tear down is tearing the books down to be able to get it right. The good thing is you're not sitting here locked into a quarterback at a ridiculous number that's controlling what you do. So I think that I'm going to take it as the tear down is Brad Holmes' job and the rebuild is sort of Dan Campbell's. But a lot of times too is Brad Holmes has picked guys who we thought, but it's the availability of guys, right? I see in the chat thread, look what Seattle's done. They're getting rookie guys to play. They got their 6 guys they drafted that are starting for them. We have talented guys, but sometimes our talented guys aren't available, right? And then
I think what's hurt the Lions this year is that other bad teams have risen so that they're above 500.
And let's be fair, they've risen so far. So far they've risen.
So far.
Okay.
But the Lions, it's the same old thing. It's be patient, wait till next year, we're going to get them, and you keep waiting and waiting and waiting. If this was the first time we heard this, I'd be more on board. But I've heard this. I remember talking to William Clay Ford Sr. at Ford Field, at Tampa. It was the same terminology, the same thing. I believe in this. I believe in our coaches. I believe in our front office. We want to win just as no one wants to win worse than we do. I'm like, damn, I've already been to this movie before. And I keep going and over and seeing this
and
movie.
T, I'm with you. Like, I'm with you in that regard. Because but here's why, for me, this time, with what Brad Holmes is doing, not Dan Campbell, again, separate entities to me, with what Brad Holmes is different when what he's doing is because they're not rerunning the same playbook. They're not going and signing a Trey Flowers. They're not going and signing some overpriced long Damian Woody's, those kinds of guys. You know what I'm saying? Because Damian Woody's a guy that you point to, that you kind of laugh at.
He came here, he got fat and got paid.
Yeah, absolutely. There are none of those contracts being signed right now. That's where it's different. It is in the modern era. They're doing things the way that good teams do it. We all believe in what the Red Wings are doing, and we're seeing some of the fruits of the labor right now. We are. We obviously, with what happened last game notwithstanding, but as we say, 81 games, you get cooked in 8 of them. That's just the nature of the beast. But with all that being said, I see similarities. And somebody earlier in the chat there, I think it was William, said, well, yeah, we're gonna believe in Yzerman. He won 3 championships for us as a player, and yes,
that's not why.
But that's not the why. The way he does it is the why.
The why more than anything is because he went to another place and put a team together that showed you how he built, and even though they left, they'd won cups. Like, he put it into fruition. Now he's gonna finish it off himself.
The biggest why is because it's 100% opposite to what Ken Holland did in the salary cap era. 100% opposite. He didn't just run the same playbook. He changed the foundation of what he does. Brad Holmes, I think, and I was going to save this for maybe later on in the season, but this is, the time and space is right now. Yeah, we're doing it right now. Brad Holmes has fundamentally shifted what the Lions do from a front office perspective. They have. I know people talk about Rod Wood and all that kind of stuff.
Here's the big butt, buddy. The Lions, the reason that some people are hesitant, like me, is the Lions have never done it before. Steve Yzerman has done it before, on the ice and off the ice.
But we've never seen somebody with the Lions do what Brad Holmes is doing. We've never seen that before.
That is true.
To that extent, do we not give Holmes a little bit of he gets a little bit of grace or the small check mark for being from the Rams organization?
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, it's unrealistic to expect a man to come in here, do 2 drafts,
no,
and then boom, everything's
where
changed.
Sheila came out and said, hey, Brad's got this time to do it. Until he's right, it really doesn't matter what it is. That's what she pretty much said.
And what you were being critical of me of earlier was, when do we catch a break? You know what I'm saying? Because do you think Seattle's going to win that division? Do you think the Seattle Seahawks are going to go to the playoffs? If you had to bet the mortgage.
That's not a good team, but better than the Lions.
Yeah, right now they are. Right now they are. And I can't refute that, because that's fact, not opinion, Terry. That's what we know. I understand that to be the case. However, with that being said, and yes, they have a couple of rookie tackles that are playing well and all that. But what else do the Seahawks have? A good coach.
And Kenny Walker.
Well, he's got six guys. 6 draft picks that are playing in the starting lineup.
Right.
Right, left tackle, right tackle, all this stuff. That's drafted. Schneider. That's organizational. That's what we want. We can't even get guys on the field. We think we draft talent, but a lot of it's injured.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jack Harrington. Sam Flannel is a chump for saying that DeAndre Swift will lead the NFC in rushing.
Like a chump. Like a chump.
We don't fully appreciate that. When Sam Flannel comes back here, I know he'll be a married man, but we gotta let him know about that.
That's the time to pile on.
That exactly is the time to pile on.
When he comes back a married man, he's gonna stop saying silly stuff like that. He's gonna be neutered and tame.
That is true. It is going to be instant.
Right.
Last one here, WoodwardSports.com chat. I lost it. My apologies to who sent this in, but they had a comment on our interview with Captain Herb Elfring and said, think about it this way, guys. He saw the Lions win.
That's right. Several times, exactly. He saw the Lions win, so think about it that way.
That's the kicker, T. He didn't just see him win. We all know 57. He saw him win more than one.
Multiple, yeah.
He's talking about 27.
He saw them be the dominant franchise of the 50s, because they were. They absolutely were. Let me tell you about Sports Marketing Agency. They got a new podcast out called This is the S Word. It's about the stigma associated with seeking help for mental challenges that you are going through. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling. If you know somebody else who's struggling, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency, they're here to help.
The biggest rivalry in the state is
What do you think Mads would be doing?
That means one thing. The biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover. Powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse at Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. 2 different ways you can play. You've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine as well as multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, pulling up on the second hour of the show. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And this seems to really have moved the people, this discussion about the Lions, where, for me, Brad Holmes is separate than Dan Campbell. And remember, too, Brad Holmes didn't hire Dan Campbell. And I know some people might call that semantics, but that is a factual statement. But on our chat thread here, Adiz411 says, what ownership and front office would you trust the most? The Red Wings and Tigers, Pistons, or the Lions? And you know what's funny about that, Adiz? And here's kind of my statement on that. And I'm curious to get D-Mac's thoughts on this. Because D-Mac is the one that swung me this way. With Chris Ilitch being the owner of the Red Wings, which he is, D-Mac kind of spelled it out to me that the GM's in place and we don't go on that side of the building, more or less. Steve Yzerman's there to run the game plan, and that's it. The Brad Holmes thing for me is kind of on that level too, where, and now T-Foss might jump in and say some different things because he's a little more connected, but I'm talking about on the surface for me, I get a lot of the same vibes with that.
And here's the thing. The Chris Ilitch owned teams, I believe Steve Yzerman as GM, carte blanche, or vice president, whatever like this on the team.
And I think Scott Harris too. I think he does too.
You've seen that. So on that part, you tell me that, I'm supposed to think that, but with Holmes, there's something there that I think there is.
I know, and as I was saying it,
net. As you were saying it, you could think that there's by committee, and I don't think he has the hammer that those other two guys have. Troy Weaver, I do think. You see, so LCA, I think Troy Weaver has that hammer. I think we've seen, where's Tom Gore's been for 2 years? He finally did what he needed to do and put the basketball guys in place and let them do the team, what we were talking about a few years ago. So Brad Holmes is the last one that I think they've taken the training wheels off and given him carte blanche to. And that, when they do, see, I don't really think, I think he's going along with the process because I think that this was a group meeting before he was hired of what we're going to do. Oh, Brad, what are your ideas? Well, you know, Sheila, you know, Chris, you know, Rod, is that you really have to get these books right. And I can't get them right. Oh, so next year and then the draft? No. So 2 years? No. It's going to be like 4 years. So you need somebody to coach that's got to be committed to that long term, that it doesn't really matter. But if I get the books right, that's how we're going to move forward. That's what I'm putting the pieces together. I could be totally wrong.
And
that's what I'm
T-Foss,
seeing.
that's where I go to you because, again, the juice that you have in the local sports community. And I do have to say, and I said it into this camera too, I have to tell Chris Ilitch and say, you know what? I doubted that you were going to put someone in place and give them the reign to do it. You did do it with Steve Yzerman. He is doing it with Scott Harris based on what I've seen so far, because there's some lifers that were gassed instantly. And that's what I'm talking about, man. If you want to change the people, you got to change the people. You know what I'm saying? So T-Foss, right here, right now, do you get that sense that came over me as I was saying it, that D-Mac was just talking about as well? Do you get that feeling that there is maybe still that behind-the-scenes thing going on with Brad Holmes? When push comes to shove, is it Brad Holmes' show, say on draft night or in free agency?
No, I don't think it's completely his show. I think a lot of it is his show. For instance, and we'll wait till we cross this bridge. If Brad Holmes is sick and tired of the yard barker, and I'm talking about Dan Campbell, and he says, you know what? We can't do this anymore. We got to move on. Does he have that authority to do that? Once again, didn't hire him. A committee hired Holmes. A committee hired Dan Campbell. And the Lions have a history of stepping in places they don't belong. Matt Millen stunk, but Matt Millen will tell you that he didn't have say in all of his draft picks.
What about the story that he wanted to draft Quentin Jammer and they know that they wanted Joey Harrington?
He swears, I just sense that Matt Millen did not like Joey Harrington. He did not like him at all.
Not his type of guy.
Huh?
I know Matt Millen and
not his type of
Joey,
guy.
Not his. Like
yeah, he was like,
it's okay. Some people don't mix. It's not his type of football. He was too, more the cerebral, the piano player.
But it went on as far as, why am I calling you Joey? Man, it should be Joe or Joseph.
I knew Spence was going to pop at that one.
Some people, that's just their name. But do you not see? So right now, because everything, and this is. It's interesting why Sheila came out now because it came out to give support to strictly Holmes and Campbell, to what they're doing, telling us to back off to whatever. Don't worry. The ownership has trust in these guys. They're lockstep. It's when, to the point that Holmes says, okay, this ain't working anymore, because you think that who's gonna split the relationship up? Why do we think that they're tied to each other? Because they act like it. Right, they act like they're tied. And if you don't know any better, then you would have thought that there's this guy. Until Holmes, he's the one that's going to break the relationship.
Yeah.
Right, if it's going to be broken. If he's going to leave the marriage, it's got to be him going, I can't deal with this clown anymore.
Let me play the part of Terry Foster right here. I have a question for you, buddy boy.
Okay.
Mr. Media Guy. Mr. Guy that knows everything about the media, buddy boy.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. So my question to you is, give me the reasoning behind her coming out to speak now. But in your opinion,
my opinion is this town stopped believing all the BS that we were fed with Hard Knocks. Reality hit in, and it got a little too hot, a little too loud, and so she wanted to come out
and put some water on the fire.
A little bit, yeah, put a little water on the fire. Because it shows at least she cares.
And she's aware.
She's aware. The other ones, her dad, mom and dad, they're like, oh, people are mad? Really?
So low key.
Why did I get booed?
Is that something that's a little different? And look, I'm not carrying the flag for Lions ownership. Nobody's going to die on that hill. But I am saying that with what Brad Holmes does and how he operates is different. To be fair, and I'm being fair here. I was fair about Chris Ilitch with Scott Harris. I'm being fair here too. That is different, T-Foss, in a vacuum. That is different, is it not?
It is different, even though they're 4-18-1 and under the people that she selected. I still believe in her. Because she tried to do things differently. She got a group of players and executives that she trusted to make a selection for a GM and a coach. She didn't hire her buddy. She didn't hire the Patriots way. She did it the way that every other organization in the NFL does it. So if she messed up, she messed up. But at least she did it the right way and tried to bring in the right people rather than, here's my boy coming in, we're going to win, I promise you.
And I'd like to defend Joey Harrington for a second.
Okay, please do defend Joey Harrington.
Some people, that's just their name. Maybe his name was Joe. My dad's name is Danny. It's not Dan. It's not Daniel. On his birth certificate, it's Danny Ray Raxter. My boss' name was Billy Ray Raxter. It's not William. It was Billy. So, it's a Southern thing.
I'm friends with your father on Facebook, and I do have to say, if I were handicapping his name as a Danny, if three options were presented, Dan, Danny, and Daniel would be the minus $275
Danny
favorite.
Thomas.
Oh yeah, it's Danny on his birth certificate. It's Danny.
No, of course it is. Woodward
Guess
Sports.
what we learned? Matt Millen wouldn't have liked him.
Yeah, that's fair.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, looted corpse. Brad Holmes drafting injured players like Mayhew did. Been there, done that. See, we knew that with the Jameson Williams. Over 30,000 people watched the draft show. Thousands of people celebrated that move. And you knew. We knew this. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to lose their mind that Jameson Williams is still a month away. We knew this. Mm-hmm. This isn't new. This isn't a surprise. You all celebrated it. So stop acting like a hard ass about it. You're oh, no, I was the one that said no Jameson Williams. Not for me. You celebrated it too. So stop with that.
They didn't think they're going to start 1-5. But here's the thing. When Jameson Williams is clowning next year, with 1,500 yards and 90 catches and everything, you're not going to hear anything about.
Doesn't it play out? Right, exactly. But doesn't it play out to what Sheila come out to saying to time frame? Because they draft their first rounder, their second guy in the first round, and the second rounder that aren't going to begin the season, that aren't going to play. They don't know how long they're going to hurt. Pascal just played.
Pascal played. What do we think, everybody?
I'm saying that's your first two, so you go into the draft in the war room saying you know that they're not going to be able to play and stuff like that. The question to Terry, to follow up to your question about is it different? Does it feel like Sheila has a pulse of what's going on with her team? She does. That's different, isn't it?
Yes,
to start with, the old man and the old lady didn't, did they?
No.
Okay.
Pistons fan 11 says y'all want to run marathons before you even learn how to crawl. And guys, look, for me, that's what it is where Brad Holmes has changed the way they operate, man. So I'm down with
absolutely. She just pretty much said, you know what, take out. We're not working on diesel. We're not working on gas, electricity. Put the batteries back in, guys. You guys are going way too fast. But you know what's not going way too fast? 168 of them. The wicked awesome haircuts from Lady Jane's. And yes, still get into any one of those Lady Jane's and register for your chance to win $200,000 towards your dream house mortgage. Yes, $200K. Get into Lady Jane's today. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Register. Tell them. Big D Energy.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row. This time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Today, Thursday, October 27th, join the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show live in Dearborn. Braylon will be doing a meet and greet after the show at 4:30, and stick around for a trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more, all thanks to Mike Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams. Mike Phillips, game on.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, T-Foss, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter on the ones and twos. Spencer Raxter doing it all today, by the way. Big shout out to Spenmo Rax. The Chubby Charlie's Pickle Pizza there in the background. That was a banger, man. It absolutely was.
I still haven't got into that.
You got to. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jack Harrington says, my last name is Harrington, LOL. William Turnbull says, we have plenty of flexibility, but we had to take Goff from the Rams instead of doing the Denver deal. I don't know if you mean the Carolina deal or whatever. That was Holmes' decision. Yeah, because he wanted the extra first-round draft pick. There were 2 separate trades. Stafford got you a first. You got a first for taking Goff. Like, that's the way it worked.
And so it should have showed you that, and that's when it started. The books and the team.
Yeah,
the books and the team.
And again, too, like when you boil this all down, you guys, nothing changes. Nothing changes at the quarterback spot. Nobody wanted a quarterback from the draft last year, right?
Right.
Nobody wanted one. And it's trending to look like, as we peruse what people are saying, there's not a lot of love for any of the quarterbacks that are in this one either.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but yeah.
Are you getting that vibe, though?
I am getting that vibe.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know what?
You never draft an Alabama quarterback. You never draft an Ohio State quarterback with Will Levis. It's like, come on now.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, that's what it is. You know, that's what it is for me. I mean, I'm tired of the outrage over Jamison Williams and the drafting hurt players. Paschal played. Did you like what you saw, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Terry, did you like what you saw, Josh Paschal on Sunday?
Yeah, solid. But let me address this Jamison Williams thing. Here's what I think. Brad Holmes knew they were going to be bad this year, whether they got 3 first-round picks or whatever. This team, and this is the thing that people in this town can't get through. They always, the Lions are talented. No. They put crap on the field every year. They've had 20 years of real bad incompetence. Before 1999, they were just bad or average. The last 20 years, they've paraded the worst front office lineup, the worst coaching lineup that you could assemble. I mean, you couldn't even get Bozo, the birthday clown, to hire worse GMs, worse presidents, and worse coaches. So Brad Holmes had to crawl out from all that crap. So now the thing is, he's got a clean slate. He's got 5 or 6 years. So now he's thinking, let me do it the right way. And in his mind, doing it the right way is not cutting corners, is not bringing in a guy who's going to help you get 1 or 2 wins this year, more wins this year. I'm going to look long term. That's why he got Jamison Williams. Jamison Williams, if he becomes the receiver that the NFL thought he was before he got injured, then you're going to have a generational talent. You're going to have Megatron again. And Paschal, you know, he doubled down on defensive rush ins because he understands this. Long term, in 3 or 4 years, if you're going to win this division, if you're going to do it in a salary cap friendly way, you're going to have young, aggressive, mean rush ins, and he feels he's got that in Paschal and Aiden Hutchinson. So he's looking long term.
Am I wrong here, or like revisionist history? When Patricia and Quinn got that extra year, wasn't it a playoffs at all costs, or there was some sort of ultimatum?
No, it wasn't even that. I wish it was.
It was winning season, or it was
No,
something.
Compete for playoffs.
Compete for playoffs.
Yeah. It was total horse crap.
Okay, but what I'm saying, and follow me here, is that was Sheila's way of going.
Mama.
That was Mama's way. Okay, so Sheila was riding shotgun.
Right.
When Mama did that, and did Sheila not, coming into where we're at now, what she said yesterday was the fact that she's going to allow time to be built. So it goes back to what you're saying is conversations to when they hired Brad Holmes that he knew he's going to get 3 or 4 years to get it right. I think it's just the fact that, like, whatever you think it's talent-wise that you've drafted or you have, we can't consistently get guys available or on the field. Whether it's, the whole offensive line, you got, Vitae going down to whatever. We've never seen it. The consistency, we complain about these guys.
Now, here's what Mama Ford said. If the Lions are in playoff contention in December, I'll bring them back.
What I'm saying, Sheila was there for that and saw that didn't work. So so her mindset when she took over was, I'm going to give extra time. That's what we heard yesterday.
Okay. William Turnbull says, Neal said Brad Holmes is a better GM than John Elway, so Holmes has to do better than 5 division titles, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 1 chip. I will take the under on that bet. Okay, William Turnbull. How about that John Elway walked in with a 13-3 team? First year on the job. There was a 13-3 team. He walked into that ready to go. You want to run the last 4 years before he was ultimately moved on from, when he won 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, 5 games? Sounds like, yeah, he's great at assuming a 13-3 team and running it into the ground. Like, that's what it sounds like. Making no moves to replace a talent or anything like that. That's what that... Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's like saying Brad Ausmus is better than A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Did you just John Elway... Or did you just Kenny Holland, John Elway, or John Elway, Kenny Holland?
There seems to be a lot of similarities.
There's more similarities there, isn't there?
One would think.
Okay.
One would think. But, that's all right. William, look, man, like, I like you. I like that you push me like that, man. I do. I enjoy it. I like our audience. I like that there are some dissenting viewpoints and all that kind of stuff. Lions, Dolphins, T-Foss. Can they? Are you getting a feeling? I'm starting to get a feeling. They going to put one together here or not?
No.
I don't want them to.
They won't.
See, you're wrong. It's home game. It's a home game. Dogs are out. You even smell it's like the setup game against the Dolphins, because the Dolphins' defense isn't what they can be. It smells. It smells like a close game.
Does.
Like it smells like a 28-27 game.
Vegas has Lions +3.
I know.
And the line's coming down, Terry.
I technically bet it at 3.5. I want 3.5.
Yeah, it was. Last I saw it was 3.5. Maybe it's 3.5. But the thing is it's the NFL. You just don't know. The Lions can put it together. Well, we're seeing them play defense now, and I'd much rather see them play defense and not be as good offensively than put up a bunch of points on the offense and then not be able to stop anybody. You have a better shot at winning under this scenario. But the Lions always seem to find ways to lose. It's just, they're just bad.
Swift had a full practice yesterday.
Okay. If you get him back,
that's
get
what
that
I'm
running
going
game going, and the defense is playing decent, they got a shot.
I agree with that too. I'm curious to see if Tua, how Tua's going to play this out and everything. That Dolphins offense, I know they have their moments of stagnation, but they cook when Tua's out there, man.
Oh, you're scared? Like, they can put it on you in a second because they got 2 burners down the wing, and what is it, Gruslecki or whatever? Their tight end's solid too. So they're a good team, but to Terry's point, we got to improve. And coming home to Ford Field with everything said is you hope. I think the big thing, I think we nailed it here. This team is different with DeAndre Swift in there. One guy. He's that one guy that can make that difference because he's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get it twisted. They play different offensively at home in the dome.
Jeremy Anderson says Neal's got that loose neck on his sweater. I do it's crunching up on me sitting in this chair. It's weird.
You look like the guy in the little T-shirt commercial. What V-neck turns into a U-neck.
Turns into a U-neck.
Yeah, this chair.
Right, he's on the date. He's
doing
he's pulling this thing all around.
It's half washed.
Yeah, man. It's weird.
What does he need? Who fixes it? It's not down there.
I think it's tied.
Is that better, Spence?
It's
better,
good.
right? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the chair keeps. I don't know. It keeps crumbling up. I don't know what to say.
It's a good thing you're not on the first date because you wouldn't get a second.
You're right. Well, I also too wouldn't be all wired up like this either.
Oh, yeah, that's
true.
true.
Unless I was working for the feds or something, Terry.
Oh, you'd be wired up on your date. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, let me tell you about Cintron. I don't have the sheet with me right now, but I don't need the sheet because you guys already know what it is with Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Okay. And you can pre-order your limited edition 6-pack sampler. You know what? Why wait? Go to cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Give me the laugh, Spence. Come on, real quick. Just give me the. Go to @cintronworld.com/Red Wings. What is @cintronworld.com? Pre-order your Red Wings theme 6-pack sampler box. Yes, you can try all 3 flavors: the great tasting cranberry, the classic, and the sugar-free. Get it in, everybody. Cintron. Let's go Red Wings.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row. This time with the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan. I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using #WoodwardFrontRow. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Did you not accomplish the weight loss goals over the summer? You didn't do it, did you? That's all right. Custom Health Centers can help take the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and, most importantly, guys, safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call today, 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter as well. But yeah, I think we got the sweater issue handled. I had to wear the sweater today because it's parent-teacher conference tonight, and I want them to blame the kid, not the parent.
That's fair.
You know, so I just, I want that out there. You got to put the show on, D-Mac. Can't be my fault. WoodwardSports.com chat thread.
It's his mother's fault.
Yeah. Rack says Neal would be a snitch. Well, Rack, it depends who puts together the better financial package.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
You know, I mean, let's be real about it.
The feds offer you $10 million more than the mob. I mean,
guess who wins?
Yeah, you know,
it's very simple.
Yeah, well, they got to protect you from the mob too.
That's true.
Right. Well, that's all part of the financial compensation package.
I'm like,
it works the other way around too.
Cool.
If the money's on the other side, they're gonna protect you from the law enforcement.
I wouldn't mind going into like witness protection agency. Just start somewhere new.
Where would you want to live?
California.
Why?
Southern, northern.
Southern.
Why? It's going to burn to the ground and be an island soon anyway.
That's fine. I'll enjoy
the
it while it
traffic,
lasts.
bro. You like the traffic?
Yeah, I guess I've never lived there, but
The weather's
being
worth
there,
the traffic.
Being there, yeah, a couple
weather's
times
worth
in the
the
past
traffic.
year.
San Diego is the perfect place,
Yeah,
right?
San Diego's
and I
good.
say that to the councilman there. Isn't it 80 every day?
Yep. Well, let me tell you one place where it's not perfect right now, and that's East Lansing, where Michigan State up to a 23-point underdog against the Michigan Wolverines. The business community seems to be behind the Michigan Wolverines, and why would you not be, right? I mean, what case could really be made? I mean, and that's why we welcome in our guy, the son of Danny Raxter. He is Spencer Raxter,
Hello,
our resident
yes.
Michigan State Minister of Information.
Yeah.
I want to. We talked about Michigan to a degree. I want to talk about Michigan State and the state of Michigan State football right now. And Spence, I first want to get this out of the way. Where I'm mad at you, I think there's a segment of sports fan like me, because there are a fringe group of us, people like me, that don't have. You know, I don't have a dog in this fight. If I were Michael Vick or whoever, like, you know, it's for me where what he did that.
Hey, Vic did his time.
Right.
Yeah.
Both things can be true.
All right.
Okay.
It was Tone for sure.
Anyway, he did do that.
It was good. It was nice subtle. Like it was one of your
in and out. But anyway, I'm mad at you in Michigan State, Spence.
Why?
Because this is a 23-point spread.
How can you be mad at us, man? We've been through enough, man. Come on.
No, it's just I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yes.
Is that better?
That's fair.
I'm disappointed, Spence.
Why?
Give me the state of Michigan State right now.
A
Where you
dumpster
at?
fire?
Okay, well, okay.
A couch fire?
So let's start right there then, Spence. So what logic because your big thing is the recruiting class next year, and next year we'll be back and everything like that. I don't see that.
I mean,
now.
It takes a year or two for, obviously, recruits to blossom. You know, how often are you going to have four-star freshmen come in and change a program?
Did you think it was going to fall off this much? Because I did not.
I did not think it was going to be this bad, no. I knew it was going to be a lot worse from last year, but I did not think it was going to be this bad. I expected them to lose 4 games.
T, can they recover from this? Can Michigan State recover from this? Because this year, to me, this is a failure. And anybody who doesn't deem it as a failure.
100%.
Okay, I just want
Can
the
they
ground.
recover from this year?
Yes.
They're not going to recover this year, but they will recover.
No, can they recover from this year? Because it's apparent what it is.
They can, because they're getting in good recruits, and he's looking at recruits way down the road too. He's going to get more 4-stars than Michigan State has ever gotten. He's going to shine. I'm talking about Mel Tucker will shine at some point. It may be 3 or 4 years, but he's going to get through this. Yes, absolutely.
My question to you, Spence, is what are your expectations going into this game this week, and how can you?
He's got none. He's a broken man.
He's got, but how do you? Because I would think, as to Neal's question, the performance in this game could go towards that.
Yeah.
You know, early, and it's not about winning the game, but what are you looking for to be different? Because you've put in the towel, you put all your money on Michigan. You're like, Sparty's done in this, but there's got to be some sort of positive that you like to see.
I obviously, you know, Michigan State comes into this game, it's always different. No matter how low down they are, they always play their best game of the season this week against Michigan. So you'd like to see that. You'd like to see the fight and the fire still there. Xavier Henderson being back in, you know, your preseason All-American, being back in that defensive backfield is huge. Hopefully he brings a calming presence. He's going to help the rest of that Michigan State backfield get used to it. Jacoby Widman leads the NCAA in forced fumbles. Can he do something? Can he create some havoc in that Michigan backfield? Force JJ to lose the ball. Maybe punch one out of Blake Corum, who never fumbles the ball. And for me, it is our wide receivers. Because I do believe they have 2 NFL wide receivers on this roster.
Here's where the disconnect is with me on that, because that is if you're Michigan State, your only chance to win is to just throw it up.
Yes.
I mean, and for real, like, you need to shrink the game.
Yes.
If you want to be competitive in this game, you need to shrink the game. And I gotta see Jaden Reed taking handoffs into rounds,
for sure,
bubble screens, deep down the field. I gotta see all. Like, if I'm Mel Tucker, if I'm Michigan State, because Terry, this season's dead. This season is dead.
See, I don't think they can shrink the game. That's the problem, though.
And that's fair too. But the moral of the story is, if I'm going down, but I hold this maxim with everything. If I'm going down with my best weapons exhausted.
Oh, for sure.
Exhausted.
Like you said, it's end arounds to Jaden Reed, bubble screens to Jaden Reed, deep balls to Jaden Reed and Keon Coleman. Like, Coleman is arguably the better receiver. Jaden Reed's the better weapon with his speed and elusiveness, but Keon Coleman is an NFL receiver. That guy is going to be out there playing on Sundays. So I expect them to use him. They need to air it out. They need to take big shots down the field, convert on big plays, win the turnover battle, and having Slade back on that defensive line, Slade and Barrow, try to slow down that Michigan running attack. It's not going to happen, but you have to at least try. You have to sell out everything. I'm talking 9 men in the box. Sell out everything you can to stop that rushing attack from Michigan and force J.J. McCarthy to beat you down the field.
I just... WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Rich Diana. Neil's Furnace has loose neck fittings. That's a good one. What about this, Spence? Like, when you say your talking points, are you broken, though?
Yeah.
Like, there's no hope, right?
For this season, no.
For this game?
For this game, no. No, not a chance. If you gave me Michigan State plus 30, I probably wouldn't take it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't believe those talking points then with to play their best game? This one's personal. So you're not putting any stock in that?
No. I think it's what they would have to do if I'm trying to paint a narrative, but I just think Michigan is a far superior team. And I said this at the beginning of the year. I said we were going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't think it would be this bad. But.
How about you, man? Do you buy into that? It means more? Because that's the thing I keep hearing around the town. It means more to Michigan State. Are we going to see that at all or not?
I think we'll see some of that. I think Michigan State's going to cover the point spread. Obviously, they won't win the game, but let's, for giggles and stuff, say, what does Michigan State have to do to win?
Yeah.
They not only must win the turnover battle, but it has to be a
5-0
number.
Yes.
Like 4-0 or 5-1 or something stupid like that. If I'm J.J. McCarthy and they're talking about they're going to load up the box and make me beat them, cool, let's go. Let's start this game right now. Because Michigan State, even though they've gotten people back on defense, Michigan State has to prove that they can stop the passing game, which they have not done this year. Minnesota
this year, last year, any year.
Yeah, last 2 years. Minnesota stinks at passing. But boy, they carved up Michigan
Tanner
State.
Morgan looked like a Heisman contender.
Yeah, R.J. Graham says the Dream Killer Spartans will dash the hopes and dreams of the Wolverines.
Not a chance.
Rich Diana, if J.J. is accurate, we have no chance, Spencer. So.
For this game, I'm driving my mom and my grandma to Metro. They're going to see my sister in California, so I'm dropping them off, and then I'm probably going to pick up 5th. 12
Bro, you should just get on the plane with them.
Honestly, I'm probably going to pick up a 5th and a 12-pack and just
D-Mac, what's your take
pass
on,
out by halftime.
What's your take on the state of Michigan State football? Because what I find funny through all this, and you guys remember earlier in the year when, like, the Spartan podcast chopped up some audio of me talking about how Michigan State can't recruit at the Alabama and Georgia level. And they were laughing, saying, who do you think recruited all those guys? You know, Mel Tucker was the recruiter for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but he was recruiting them to Alabama. Not
and that was my point. You know, that was my point to it. It's just, D-Mac, I'm looking for some consistency out of the Spartan brethren, because you can't kill me over that take and then say, oh, us poor Spartans, you know.
I backed you on that take.
Well, here's the whole thing, right? I mean, even the Lions, I can see where the Lions are at right now. Like, Sparty took a bigger fall to me this year.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So I'm more interested in how does Mel Tucker right this ship? Do I believe Mel Tucker will right this ship to what Terry says about 4-star recruits and more recruits and stuff like yes, because he's proven that. But I want to see that this is a chink in the armor. I don't think it's a big dent or something that takes you out of commission. Right? I do believe Mel Tucker's the guy, but this is the game that starts. And because this game, no matter what, Spencer said it, right? Michigan State always plays usually the best game of the year. So there is that little piece, but that's why I'm interested to see. I'd be interested to hear from Mel Tucker. What does he want to see coming out of that? Maybe to the point that they keep it closer, that they cover the spread, and they show you that maybe they can stop somebody.
I just don't see a pathway.
I don't either. And so what do I want to see? Do I see a pathway out, right? Do I see something that they're going to build on, or players, the future and stuff like this, or Mel Tucker? Because I haven't. They're the most disappointing right now, in my book, as far as what the season is. No, the Tigers are, but they're second.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's as dismal from what we expected.
We got to factor in. Michigan's got to win this game. Can't go 0-3 to Mel Tucker.
Not this year. Not when we're talking about them arguably being the Big Ten representative.
A
or
23-point favorite. I'm not even addressing
that. You belong in the playoffs.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do the Michigan State what-ifs tomorrow. I'll have some what-ifs, and we'll go around the room and get everybody's take on them, because we'll have some fun with it tomorrow. Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G says $95 million means a natty in 5 years to me. Anyone else? Here we go with the contract again, dude. Like, I don't get it. I thought you get
price of doing business.
I thought you get 7 years to win a conference title. I thought that was the going time frame around here.
People need to get off that.
Is that
Who are you referencing?
Who are you
Mel
referencing?
Tucker is not the first coach to get $9-10 million a year.
Yeah.
But we hear about it all the time. And no, it doesn't mean he has to win a natty. Here's what Michigan State is supposed to do in people's eyes. Michigan State is supposed to be a program where if anybody wants your coach, come and get him, because you're not going to pay enough, blah, blah, blah. So that's why people keep bringing that up. The other thing, Mel Tucker is black. Black people are not supposed to make a lot of money when you're a coach. And Michigan State is this little redheaded stepchild that if you want something from state, you just take it. What people don't understand is they want to keep Mel Tucker. So the billionaire said, okay, we're going to pay his contract, so if LSU comes calling, Florida comes calling, Auburn comes calling, they can't pay more than we're going to do. We're doing this to keep our coach because we believe in him. That's what this is all about. The school's not paying the $95 million, so people need to get over this money.
Shout out Matt Ishbia.
Shout out Matt Ishbia, because if anybody for the Spartans program has acted like Guardian Alarm and had their back, it's been him. Guardian Alarm, you know him, you love him, keeps you safe, gives you peace of mind, whether you're home, on the road, doesn't matter if you're in the big house or Sparty Stadium. 24/7 local monitoring makes sure what is important to you is kept safe. So if you want, please be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports family and give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Can't wait till Flannel comes back. Flannel protection back in gear, no matter what trip he's on his honeymoon, doesn't matter what it is, he's being safe. You can too. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts, give him a call. 1-800.
Stay out of Flannel's house.
Stay out of his house because he's a married guy and he's got neutered. Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell him Big D Energy sent you. That's what T-Foss told me.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win, or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The Tailgate Takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Syntron in your life. Okay. There it is. Syntron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Syntron World, baby. Syntron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CyntronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
I got a plan. It's called Woodward Front Row. He went front row tickets to see the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers down at Ford Field. Guys, I think about you guys. All the time. I do what you want. So if you record a video doing your best Dan Campbell impression, we are going to give out 3 sets of 2 tickets. Yes, I swear to you, I am not a lunatic. You need to post on IG or Twitter with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select, like I said, 3 winners on November the 4th. So, come on, man, I swear to you, get them in today. We'll have some fun down at Ford Field.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster.
He's not a lunatic.
Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, as well. Happy you guys are with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And, you know, on brand, it devolves into this because it always does. Go Blue says, agree with everything Terry said. They paid to keep Mel. What's unfortunate for them is they gambled and lost. He is not a good coach.
Did he? Okay.
How can you say that after...
Maybe I got drunk last year and don't know what happened, but did Michigan State win 11 games?
They did. Won a New Year's Six bowl game, beat Michigan.
And did they beat Michigan?
Yes.
Is he 2-0 against Michigan?
Never lost. Undefeated. Never lost.
Never lost to Michigan. So, and he's only had 1 recruiting class. And we talk about how the Lions left the cupboard bare. Mark D'Antonio stopped recruiting the last 2 or 3 years. So
yeah.
he left the cupboard bare. So he is trying to restock his program. You can't make a statement like that and be credible.
Terry, can you give me your where you're at with Mel Tucker right now? Like as far as do they have the right guy? Do you see what he's doing? Like you mentioned right there, where people don't put it into their calculations that he's working 2-3 years down the road trying to get these 4 stars. The fact that he was the guy sitting in the living rooms bringing them into Alabama. So there's something to that, but it sounds to me when I hear you talk about Mel Tucker, you see his game plan. If we're talking about the Lions and Holmes and Sheila and all this about their game plan, you're telling me, am I hearing you correctly as far as you see what he's trying to do?
What he had to do is he had to go to the portal a lot because he couldn't field the team. Because one of the things Mel Tucker did when he got in there is guys who didn't want to work hard, guys who didn't want to, ball out, he got rid of them. He got rid of a bunch of players. So in the short term, that hurts you. In the long term, it creates a culture. Guys know what they have to do to stay on this team. So he had to create his own culture, which he did. And so I think it's all going to work out for him and Michigan State.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Go Blue says, if Mel's such a great coach, why does he have 4 losses? And then, Go Blue, I would ask you, why did Jim Harbaugh have at least 3 losses his first 6 years at Michigan? Like, you can ask, all these questions run parallel to each other. This is what helped me understand it.
You know what I'm understanding more, and to Terry's point, is that obviously it's a building and a work in progress, but, to Jim Harbaugh's credit, right, is that whatever his culture or it's finally sort of, he's got his team. Like this year, coaching the way that he won, he doesn't care. You go out there to win the game. You talk to Braylon about different things, and that mentality, it's really to win the game mentality, putting that team in the right position. It's sort of like, and we've seen, with the Hutchinsons and the Ajabos and different guys coming in. But to me, this year more than anything is the first year, and it's Harbaugh's 7th year, that he's got a full grasp of this program, that it's his team. Am I reading that situation wrong?
No.
So if it
I think that's absolutely correct.
If it takes Harbaugh that long, and we want to give Mel Tucker 2 years when he's working with different things.
That's my biggest question. Why is it indifferent?
I don't know. I would, you know what? Even though I'm going to give Spenny a hug because it's not going to go good for him Saturday, but he's going to be, maybe I'll give him an extra 20 so he can get the top shelf bourbon. But but the thing is that he's going to be okay. And I hear from that it's a process of putting it together from what wasn't there. So, it's time will tell.
Don Thompson says that changes Saturday.
What changes Saturday?
Yeah.
Nothing changes Saturday.
You're a 23-point favorite in the game. I would hope it changes Saturday.
Yeah.
Here's.
Don't be mad at Michigan.
No. Here's what happens in this state. If Michigan State beats Michigan, they really didn't beat them. It was a fluke. It was the referees. It was something.
A rain.
When Michigan beats
on one side
Michigan
of the field.
State, then everything has changed. Michigan State will never win a game. This is the way it's supposed to be. Even though Michigan has lost 10 of the last 14 times, if you talk to the average fan around here, who's had the better decade of football, they're going to say Michigan.
Nope.
That's what they'll say.
Yeah.
State's had a better record. State went to the national playoffs first. They won a Big Ten title when Michigan didn't for 20 years. But still, the perception is Michigan is a better team than Michigan State for the last decade and a half.
Come on, Jake Wagner says Tucker did take over an MSU team that was trending up, and Harbaugh took over a team that was down for a number of years. Wait. What are we talking about?
No. Michigan State was not trending up.
I know they were.
It trended up, leveled off, and Mark D'Antonio kept coaches he shouldn't have.
D'Antonio burned the program to the ground.
He almost didn't care. He almost locked it and said, we're not feeding the cattle. We're not doing anything like that. We're not improving any of the farm, ranch, and it just went into it dissipated.
That's exactly what he did.
I don't get how do you? But it's comments like that where you don't have a freaking clue.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with somebody told me, you know what, that lions can't talk to donkeys, right? Because donkeys, they don't care about the conversation or the truth. Yeah. They just care about their point. That's why they're called jackasses.
Yeah, I don't get the Mel Tucker's a trash coach and Harbaugh's a great coach. Like, what's Harbaugh in games that matter? What's Harbaugh in games that aren't against Mountain West teams?
It's like 2-14 versus top 10 teams or something
it's brutal, dude. Yeah. It's absolutely brutal. And then look, I guess our disconnect, like where I get called a hater and stuff like that, because I separate the two. Because if you want to be nationally relevant, you got to swim in those waters, and they don't. I don't care what you say. They don't. And when they do step in that into the pool, they're the first one out, Marco Polo, every single time.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, that comment about Mel Tucker walking into a look at Brady Hoke's recruiting classes. Look at Rich Rod's recruiting classes. Like, they were good. They were Michigan recruiting classes. They're top 10 in the nation. Like, D'Antonio never did that, and it worked for a while, but then when NIL and transfer portals started to get some gas, D'Antonio wanted nothing to do with it, kept recruiting as 2- and 3-star underdogs. That doesn't work. And what did he do? He held the program hostage until 2 months before the season started and then quit. So Mel Tucker came in with 2 months before a COVID season started to instill everything in the team. So don't tell me they were on the uprise when he took over. That's blasphemous.
That is true. And then looked around and said, I don't have talent here.
Yes.
And he got rid of a bunch of players, which he probably shouldn't have done if you're trying to, look at the short term to try to win a few games. But he said, I don't have talent. So and you got an attitude, so get the hell out of my program.
Yeah, I just don't understand like the obsession with this contract, and Michigan fans in here saying, "Oh, he's a terrible coach." Like I'll never understand it. Because I thought you get 7 years around here. That's what I was told. You get 7 years to get shellacked. And again, that's your tone. No, that's facts, man. That is absolutely facts. You know what else is facts?
Tone and truth.
Loaded fries and burgers at Big Boy. Those are facts, too. And you guys know what it is. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim, the chili cheese. You know that's a tease. And guess what else is new? It's the bacon blue. Like you're not going to get the upgraded fries. Come on, man. They're loaded. Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. You know what it is. Big Boy, Detroit institution.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row. This time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. You know what it is.
Chili Peppers
Clean,
Tan?
spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan?
Yay. All right.
Good.
Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, last segment of the show. We'll get to the Michigan State stuff tomorrow. Maybe a little bit more detail about the game itself. And,
Just be bad tomorrow.
You want to be?
Yeah, just be bad.
Just be bad?
Bad.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that. Certainly some NFL
Leroy
stuff.
Brown fries. Here we go. Leroy Brown fries.
We'll have the nickel packages for you and all of that. Red Wings tonight.
Yeah,
in
good,
Boston.
Early time. Obviously, I had to
test.
I had to tweet out in defense of our girl Daniela Bruce and just guys, Red Wing Nation, chill the freak out. Games. It's a process, right? So be as disappointed as you were for the lack of effort on the whole part. The game against Jersey at home the other day. It's a great test tonight in Boston. A road game. This is where leadership, where veteran, the guys like Perron and Sherrod to go in there to play simple. There's a couple things we need to get Raymond going. Obviously, your boy Zadina, but somebody had mentioned too.
Getting worried, man.
Well, you don't need to. Because you nailed it earlier.
Well, I don't need to.
1.8 third line or whatever, dude. What that contract is sitting there, because if you're not going to be part of moving forward, then you know what? We can move you on down the road. Somebody else will take you and stuff like this. What you're seeing, and I saw it the other night, it's the growing pains, right? When the Redwood lines play small, right? Sundqvist, I could tell, was hurting a little bit. They just didn't have it. So you don't lose 2 in a row. Going on the road makes it a little bit easier, a little bit focused. Expect to have Husso in net. They played better in front of him. Tonight's, Boston, it's a good early season to see where your team's at. And you're looking for a lot of things because you just laid an egg at home. So this tells you about the development and the maturation of this team.
Right. And young Neal, you were not here. But Darren and I had a couple conversations that there's going to be a point where the wings are going to look pretty good, and then there's going to be some regression. You're going to say, well, what happened to this team?
Things aren't linear. Things are not linear, everybody.
Right.
Especially with young kids.
It just doesn't go straight up. But every team that's good, they reach a certain point, and then they just kind of regress, and then you get frustrated, and it's like, what's happening here? And then they snap out of it at some point, or they become better. You can't explain why. It's just part of sports.
And that's where you look at where games like this early in the season, where I would expect the coach to lean on some of the more of the veteran guys and just getting the younger guys being ready to play.
Yeah. It's one of those, and you know me, D-Mac. This is one I'll lock into tonight.
Well, there's certain,
and I want to see. Show me.
This is the exciting part because it's a Thursday night, and I'm sort of excited at least to tune in to see how this game starts. Right? You look at, and it's the ebbs and flows of the season and how they learn it. How can they come out, opening night and have 25 shots on goal in the first period and then come out the other night and be outshot 21 shots, the way that the NHL works. So we just want to see progress. It'd be nice if we saw Zadina and Raymond get on the board. When I looked at that score sheet, it was really cool, and I said this to Tammy when I was talking to her, our Tammy Chin, which, by the way, the Rat ain't playing tonight, Marshall, so that's a good thing for us. Sorry, Tam. But the fact is that when you look at the score sheet for the Red Wings, there's numbers all throughout it. Everybody's got a goal or a point or involved that is on the score sheet. Early in the season, you don't really see that.
Yeah. So I mean, T-Foss, I'm curious to see how this one plays out tonight. Boston is an absolute machine right now. 5-0 at home. This is the first real. It's safe to say the Red Wings schedule has been kind of Michigan football-esque up until this point, but it's about to get real tonight.
Yeah, but to me in pro sports, it can never be Michigan-esque, even if a team is not really good. The NHL season is a grind. Sometimes you don't even know where you are, and it's not who you play, but when you play them. Sometimes you're playing somebody on a back-to-back. Sometimes you've done 3 out of 5 days or 4 out of 5, whatever. You're dead tired. And during the NHL and NBA season, you're going to get your ass kicked about a dozen times. Darren, my question to you is, do you know that it's coming before a game, or does it just kind of happen? Even you guys, when winning Stanley Cups, now and then, somebody would just beat the hell out of you and say, get out of here.
Absolutely. Neil called it, right? 82-game schedule. You can get
eight of them, you get your ass kicked.
Teams, you keep it to 4, right? Bad teams, you're about a dozen.
Did you know it was coming beforehand, or did it just kind of happen?
No, it sort of happens. But there's different ways to quell this stuff. We could talk about this later, but the rules have changed in the game of hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everybody tapping in. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. For T-Foss, for
T-Mac.
I had fun. For Spencer, you always have fun, T-Foss. I always have fun with you, too. You're a credit to your generation. Leroy Brown Friday tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later. Leroy Brown.